My bad. I was saying it only gives me 40 minutes. I thought I was talking fast enough. I clearly did not. This was the last slide, the only thing that was left. I didn't hear everybody's key takeaways on if they had any questions about any health systems. It looked like they were kind of in the middle of voting when it cut off. But definitely practice regularly. If there's any, most of the questions I've crafted them in some way, but I really do take them primarily from ATI, even if I need to tweak something to fit what we've talked about, or to match better or give it a better, clarity or something. But so if there's any topics that you feel like you just are needing some help with, definitely just practice, questions, especially if you have issues with, priority framework, delegation, stuff like that. I think that's just practice, practice, practice as well. Um, I think that overall, it's like I said, it's 80 questions. It is literally just a little bit of everything. So hopefully no one subject's gonna knock you off of the roll because there's not a lot. I mean, I guess probably maybe there's like three when you get into like heart failure, there's probably three or four questions, and one of them is a bow tie, but everything else has one or two questions. Just kind of it's literally a little bit of everything that we've talked about. Um, Did I have any other notes? To answer the prep you question, it was just weird. So some people got my answer and some didn't. Basically, instead of making one quiz with a bunch of stuff for the final, it took every topic, and there were like three topics that you didn't have a specific prep you about before. So everything else probably auto completed except for like, again, like health promotion, communication, professionalism, stuff like that. So those would be the only ones that would be outliers to finish on the essentials final for the prep U. I talked about the answer D being the correct for the respiratory difficulty for the myasthenia gravis on the PowerPoint. And then I talked about the math. Again, it's just kind of basic dosage calculation, one IV flow rate, and again, it's mils per hour, no drip counts. And then sliding scale insulin based on blood sugars and also giving insulin based on how many carbs somebody ate, which you guys did in 108. And it really is just kind of adding up the carbs and dividing it based on how many units you're giving per um, carb or per whatever the parameters are in the problem. Um, and then one fluid restriction, but again, that's also adding up how much fluid they've had and subtracting it from how much they're allowed. Um, I think that's it. Do you guys have any questions for me? Sorry about the cutoff. Everybody's muted, so let me if you need to unmute yourself if you do have a question.
Send me some prayers.
Right. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers.
Will a copy of the recording be uploaded to the modules?
Yes, and I'll do both. It'll it should automatically record even this little tidbit that we just talked about. So I'll just kind of label it like one and two or something like that. And then I'll even put the PowerPoint in there if that helps in any way, although most of the I think bulk probably came from me talking. So but it's in there if you need it. Any other questions?
No, this was helpful. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And like I said, I'll have to stop jibber jabbering and talk faster next time. I was like, 40 minutes will be plenty of time. It's never enough time. I talk too much. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. And I think that was all of the questions that I've had. Like I said, prep you, um, Portree's question about the PowerPoint. I was just looking at my notes just to make sure there wasn't anything else. I talked about the conversions. And then we talked about in the Kahoot again, to me, it's some stuff that seems basic. I just don't like people to get tripped up because like, oh wait, what does that mean? And they get anxious. But again, that lateral versus vertical violence, meaning that it's just a communication professionalism question, but it's wrapped in, and is this peer to peer or is it somebody higher or lower in rankings supposedly as far as licensure or position or whatever. Okay. So everything, it's in the Kahoot. I went back through it again. So I've again 80 questions, 97 points. I'll correct that in what's it called Canvas if you guys want to play with what if grades. But if you have any other questions or think of anything else, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, okay? And I'll post all this in the module with the Zoom. So it'll all be there right underneath it, okay?
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye.